I was cracking, everybody. So I'm on my lunch break, right? But I was just thinking about something I can't wrap my head around, and I'm not even gonna waste any time trying to figure out, right? But it'll always be on my mind. Okay. You guys already know that I spent the majority of my life in jails and prison. Okay. And when we think about prison is honestly like the most savage place you can be. You know, it's a place full of misery, anger, hatred, despair, lost potential, broken dreams, broken hearts, you know. And yet the things they value most in there are trust, loyalty, doing what you say you're gonna do, being honest, respect. You know, those are like the most valued qualities. You know, I have my worst pet peeve is if somebody tells me they're gonna do something and they don't do it. I won't fuck with them again, you know. And yet out here in the civilized world, right? In the civilized world, none of those things mean anything. You know? People will tell you what they think you want to hear. People place value on things that are meaningless in the grand scheme of things. People are worried about the most frivolous things in the world, you know, and yet they're the things that have the greatest impact on their happiness. And that's why most people that live like that are the most unhappy, you know. Prison, there's a lot of judgmental people. Well, there's a few judgmental people, but it's a trip out here, man. You know, you see it constantly. People, you know, worried about what somebody's wearing and what they're driving, and you know, I've come to realize that the people that are the most judgmental are the ones that have the most skeletons in their closet, you know. And that's why they do what they do, because they're looking to feel better about their skeletons by pointing out someone else's shortcomings, you know. So these are the things, like I think a lot of us, the majority of us, when we did a long time in prison, you know, it just trips us out, man. You know, where you can be caged in that concrete, surrounded by so much negativity, and yet value the things that really mean the most at the end of the day. You know, I don't know. You know, this is, you know me, my videos, this is not gonna get a bunch of views, man, but you know, I've come to realize my videos get to who they need to get to. And hopefully, man, videos like this make people do some self-reflection. You know, are you placing emphasis on things that don't really matter in your life? And if you are, I'm sure there's some unhappiness in your life, and that's the root of it, you know. I think it's important that we all recenter ourselves. Don't get caught up in other people's negativity, you know. I tell you guys, the other day, about a week ago, I made some parts here in the shop, and I didn't see a note on how to handle the parts after, you know, what we called after during the deburring process and tumbling process, you know. Anyways, so I went ahead and, you know, after I was done machining them, I started doing the final touches, the handwork on the parts, and next thing you know, I had about 200 parts that became rusted. And when I looked down and saw them, the color of them, I went back to my paperwork and it said, don't let them sit in water, don't let them rust. So I'm like, shit, this is 200 parts, you know, like, all right. So I go to my supervisor and I tell him, hey, look, check this out. And he said, did you see the note? And I said, no, I didn't. It was put away. You know, like, it was in a place where normally it would have been somewhere else, but still, it's on me, right? But it was a trip because he was like, man, he goes, that's a lot of parts, you know, which was basically half of everything I machined. And he goes, you know, you could get fired for that, right? And I said, okay. And he kind of like, whoa. You know, and this is because, you know, like I tell people, man, like, a man should never worry about that which he can't control. I can't control if they're going to fire me or not. So I'm not going to waste my energy on what their decision is. What I did was I went back to work on those parts, and took me a few days and had to figure out, you know, I did vinegar bath and then a WD-40 bath, and, you know, it was but I was able to repair the parts. But during that time, still not knowing if what I was doing was going to fix them, I went into motion, right? And I contacted another shop. First, I prayed on it, you know, and then I contacted another shop that had been asking me, you know, if I would like to check them out. And I got offered a lot more money, you know, a greater opportunity. So I'll be headed over there soon. But this is why I say, you know, a lot of people would have heard, you know, you could lose your job over that, and they make it such a bigger thing in their minds, you know, not realizing if your supervisor is going to fire you, whatever you say or do outside of your job, you know what I'm saying? Like, stressing over it doesn't make it better. It makes it worse, though, to you. And I think, you know, these are one of the blessings of prison. You know, there are blessings in that, and lessons in, you know, growing up that way. You know, okay, this was done, this could happen, but I can do this, and this to make sure I did what I could do. You know, and I think people just need to, like I say, man, just focus on what you can do. Focus on what's really important at the end of the day. Remember that material things don't go with us when we leave, man. You know, these material things, they fade, they rust, they break, they fall apart. You know, fuck the material shit, man. But anyways, that's my little ramble today, man. Hopefully it helps somebody out. That I'm out.